Hi, and welcome to today's practice. We're going to have some fun with balancing today. And I say fun because I want you to have fun with it. As we get older, find ourselves aging naturally, we might find that our sense of balance is not as great as it used to be. And that's just a part of what happens as we get older. One of the reasons, I'll tell you some other reasons, but the main reason is because we don't practice it. We don't let ourselves get into situations where we are unbalanced, and therefore our brain, our body doesn't know how to react. So we're going to practice building some trust, building some pathways between the brain and our body, so that when we do get in situations of unbalance, we can recover a little bit easier, a little bit better. And that's the point. That's the practice. And it equates to our real lives as well. All right? Don't we want to live a balanced life? A balanced emotionally, balanced everything, right? Right now, we might find things a little bit unbalanced. We're a little bit unsure, maybe a lot unsure. Things are uncertain. It throws everything out of balance. So what is the point of balance? The point of balance is to not be still like a statue. That's not the point. The point of a balance is keeping ourselves strong, centered, and able to recover. So in real life, balance is being able to bring ourselves back to our center, back to safety, how to make ourselves feel safe. That's what balance is. So we're going to use both physical and some mental practices to help us with our balance. Okay? So let's go ahead and start here. We're going to start in mountain, which is standing. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Your knees, you can soften your knees. Let's do that. Soften your knees, bend them a little bit. And then I want you to really tighten them up. Tighten your legs too tight, and then relax. Find that balance between too loose and too tight. All right? Bring your hips back just a little bit to balance our weight over our heels. And again, let's go to our shoulders. Let's take our shoulders up high, high, high. Too much. And then let them relax, and you're slouching. Too little. And then let's find that middle ground. You're relaxed, and yet your spine is long. And then our neck. Let your chin come towards your chest. Too loose, right? And then take that chin up and move it way, 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 way back. Too much. And then find some middle ground so that you have a nice long back of the neck. But you're not too far forward and you're not too far back. It's all a balance, isn't it? All right. Let's take a couple centering breaths and bring yourself here to this spot. Let everything else go. Things that happened earlier, leave them where they were. Things you have to do later or are thinking of for later, let them stay in the future. And find that balance in between, which is right here, right now. Just a couple deep breaths, whatever feels good to you. You can breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. You can take deep breaths, whatever feels good to you. Learning to listen to our body and do what makes you feel better. All right, this is the same breath we've been practicing in other classes. I'd like you to take your hands around the sides, right around your ribs. You can close your eyes. That's a good balancing practice. And first, just notice, if you close your eyes and you're standing, does anything change from when you've opened your eyes? Because we know that vision is one of the big factors in our balance. And when we don't have that vision, that changes. So just notice for a breath or two what changes from standing with your eyes open to standing with your eyes closed. And then as we begin to take our attention again to our breath, breathing in and out through our nose now. As you inhale, can you inhale deep enough and full enough to feel those ribs expand underneath your hands? And then as you exhale, feel them moving, the ribs moving back into stillness. And again, you might feel the movement and maybe you don't, and that's okay. We're just working towards feeling it. So if you don't feel anything now, that's okay. Maybe tomorrow you'll feel a little bit more, and the day after that a little bit more. Inviting those deep breaths. Maybe you feel it more in your belly. You want to take your hands to your belly and feel your belly rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Let's take about 3 more. Again, this deep breathing, inviting the rest and digest part of our nervous system to engage. Telling our brain that it's okay. It's okay to relax. 1 more. And a nice big exhale. As we open our eyes, take our hands down to our sides. All right, let's add some movement with our breath. So now as we inhale, let's take our arms out, up, palms together. And as you exhale, bring the arms back down to your side. Good, 2 more just like that. Inhaling, reach up, pressing the feet down into the floor. Exhale, back down. And 1 more just like that. Inhaling, reach. And exhale down. All right, we're going to continue that movement, but now we're going to add our coming up onto our toes. So as you inhale, the arms up, lift the heels and come up onto the toes. Our first little balancing practice. And exhale, everything down nice and slow. All right, again, inhaling, come up on the toes, arms up. And exhaling down. All right, balancing also requires us to be kind, gentle, and compassionate to ourselves, all right? If this is difficult for you, that's okay. Remember, we're being patient. We're teaching our body how to trust itself, and it may take some time. So a little wobbling is natural. Keep going. Wobbling is natural. Remember, we're not trying to be a statue. We're trying to teach our body to balance itself and be able to right itself. Let's hold it for a minute. Relax your shoulders. And I want you to just feel what's happening in the body. I imagine your ankles and feet are moving, right? And that's good. Woo! You might find yourself needing to right yourself, and that's okay. All right. Strong, centered, and able to recover. All right, let's go ahead and come on down. Whew. All right, shake out those arms and the legs. So, I'm practicing on carpet. It isn't very good for my mat. Okay, let's just do a little bit more warm up. Again, come back to mountain, nice stable feet. we're just gonna inhale our arms up, and this time as we exhale, I'm gonna grab my left wrist, and as I exhale, side bend to the right. Good, inhale back to center, change, and exhale, side bend to the other side. Very good, continuing, inhaling to center, and exhaling, nice long side bend. Good, back to center. Exhale, let's do one more to each side. Inhaling back up. Exhale, side. And last one, inhale to center. Exhale here. Good, inhaling back to center. And exhaling the arms back down to our side. All right, let's do a little twist, inhaling the arms up. And as you exhale to the right this time, let's take our arms out to a T and turn to the right side. Gentle twist, inhaling up to center, exhaling. All right, your hips, your legs, your feet are strong and stable. And you're just getting a nice twist in that middle back area. Exhaling, come twist, arms down. Inhaling up, and one more to this side. Good, inhaling up, and last one. Exhale here. Good, inhaling back up, and exhaling arms back down to your side. All right, let's shake those arms out again. We can do a couple big arm circles. Looks like I have my camera a little short today, so I'm cutting off my arms. Very sorry about that. Biggest challenge, just keep circling the arms, anything that feels good. Camera, I need a cameraman, camera woman, a camera person. So you'll have to just do with me. All right, little shoulder roll. All right, let's take our feet just a little bit wider. I'm gonna put my hands right here on my hips. Here's a little brain challenge because I think this is a move we don't do very often, unless maybe you're a dancer. All right, we're gonna figure eight our hips. So rather than me explain it, I'm just going to try and let you figure it out. All right, one hip forward, one hip back, other hip forward, other hip back. That's the best I can do. Think figure eight with my hips. So you probably started to your easier side because now we're going to change directions and you're going to have to think about it a little bit. So change directions. Always interesting to notice how much we have a dominant side without really thinking about it. One side's always easier than the other. All right, a couple more. So aging and balance. I'm going to talk a little bit about, I already talked about, good, one more here. All right, good. Shake out the legs. And we'll move into our first practice. So I didn't talk about this. You may need to pause the video right now because I'd like you to get a blanket or a towel. I'm using a blanket here that we're going to use in a few minutes. I also have a chair handy. It could be anything, a chair. You could be next to a wall, anything, because as we balance, that helps us with, maybe we're not ready to stand on one leg without any kind of, so anything that you could lightly, a wall works great, a chair works great, back of the couch, anything that you have that's handy here to just lightly be able to help yourself and give yourself some support. All right, we're going to start with one of the iconic yoga poses, tree. So let's just start and I'll talk as we go through it. So I'm going to put the weight into my right leg and I'm going to just come up onto the toes of my left leg. So I'm going to show you here. We want a nice, strong, stable base. All right. So from here, I'm going to put my right hand on that right hip and I'm going to move then my right hip away from my hand and down towards the floor. So we've done this before in other videos, if you've noticed, and it's called a hip list. And as I take that right hip away and down, my left hip naturally comes up. So you can feel that nice, strong base of your right leg. And from here, you can either, I'm going to take that left knee out to the side. Now, If this is enough for you, I'm going to take my left heel onto my right ankle-ish. My toes are still on the ground. This could be enough for you. I'm already having to balance, all right? If you're ready, you can also slide that foot up your leg wherever feels right for you. And there, keeping that nice hip pulled in, that right hip pulled in. All right. Now, remember, we're not trying to stand still like a statue. So in yoga class, a lot of times, I want to be as still. That means I'm doing the pose. But you've got to challenge yourself. That's what we're going to do today. To improve your balance, you've got to challenge it. Remember, we're not a statue. We're not trying to be a statue. We're trying to train our body to recover. So from here, maybe you're pretty balanced. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do something with my arms. Maybe raising your arms adds a whole new level. The other thing we learn in yoga class in balance is to find a spot and focus on it. That's great if you want to be a statue. No statue, so I'm going to look around. I'm going to look up. I'm going to look to the side. I'm going to look down. I'm going to look around. Okay? If you can do that, the last step I would say would be to close your eyes. Try closing your eyes in tree pose. Whoa. All right, the wind's really blowing my tree around when I close my eyes. You find that? My leg is tired as well. So let's go ahead and come out of that on that side and shake out that right leg. So that's another thing. Not only are we practicing our balance here, but one way to improve our balance is to develop strong hip muscles. So if you're doing that hip list, you're feeling the outside of this right here, aren't you? So we're strengthening that as well. So we're getting a lot of stuff accomplished here. All right, left foot, left leg. All right, I'm going to come up on my toes. So the weight is in my left leg. I'm going to take that left hip away from my hand, in and down. Right hip comes up, and then I'm going to take that right knee out. And again, you find your spot. What is most challenging to you? That's what we're looking for. There's no right way to do it. It's based on what you are trying to teach your body, all right? So we're going to do the same thing here. Finding a level that is challenging to you. I've got the steps. I've raised my foot. I'm putting my arms in a different position. Maybe I look around. And then maybe I close my eyes. Now, if I close my eyes, maybe I just want to lightly, to help myself learn to recover, I'm going to rest my hand very, very lightly on the chair if I need to. So we need to keep safe, right? We don't want to be toppling over onto the ground. So you also need to keep yourself safe while challenging yourself. So it's a balance. All right. I'm going to come out of that. Very good. Gently shaking out my leg again. Oh. All right. Improving balance, challenging ourselves, rebuilding pathways between our body and our brain, developing trust in ourselves, and building strong hip muscles. All right, let's practice another way. All right, I'm going to take my feet wide. We're going to do some things in Warrior Two. So both feet are going to be on the ground this time, but we're going to add some challenging things to Warrior Two. So, all right, I'm going to turn my right toes forward, or out to the side, I guess it would be. So left foot is facing the camera, right toes are perpendicular for Warrior Two. I'm going to bend my right leg, bringing my knee right over my ankle. My left leg is straight, all right? Torso straight up and down. Let's bring our arms out. My palms are up for this, okay? So let's do some dynamic warrior. So take a nice inhale and exhale. Nice Warrior Two. And then as we inhale, this time we're going to bring our arms up, straighten our leg. Exhale, back to warrior two. Good, so nice dynamic warrior, continuing, inhaling up, exhaling down, and from here, as we continue the dynamic movement, let's close our eyes. So just notice the difference and what your body does to adjust to the difference in closing your eyes. All right, nice, strong and deep, reaching your full potential here in warrior two. Good, two more. All right, this time as we come down, we're gonna hold. All right, reaching out between the palms. Palms are still up, shoulders are relaxed. Legs are strong. Can you go a little bit deeper, pressing into that back heel, front heel? Eyes are closed. Again, paying attention to how your body moves to keep yourself centered. It's still a balance issue. And can you feel strong from your center? Good, one more breath. All right, good. On your next inhale, go ahead and come on up. I'm gonna take both my toes forward, and as I exhale, I'm just gonna take a nice, easy forward fold. I'm actually just gonna put my hands here on my thighs, and I'm just gonna shimmy those hips side to side. All right, very good. All right, come back up. And let's turn the left toes towards the side, all right? And your right toes are pointed towards the front or the camera. All right, back to warrior two again on this side. So I'm gonna bend that left knee so that it's over my ankle. You can adjust your stance closer, feet closer together or wider apart. I'm gonna take my hands out again, palms up. And let's just try a couple dynamically with your eyes open, all right? So inhaling, straighten leg, arms up. Exhale, nice strong warrior two. A couple more, eyes open. I just want you to keep your attention maybe in your lower body, maybe in your feet with your eyes open. How do they feel, your ankles? All right. With this next inhale, let's close our eyes and continue with the dynamic warrior two. And do you notice any differences in how your body has to adjust with your eyes closed? Good. You can follow your own breath. Maybe you're faster or slower. Two more. Building up some strength. Good. Last one until we come into warrior two and hold. Continue with nice, even breaths. Palms are up. So, a couple more breaths here. Some things that happen as we age, why our balance continues to disintegrate. Part of it is because we start losing the sensitivity in our inner ear. So that we cannot fix. Maybe we lose vision a bit in our eyes. That also causes our balance to be affected. We might lose sensitivity in our feet. Let's take one more breath here. Very good. On your next inhale, go ahead and come on up, straighten the leg. Exhale the arms down to the hips. And let's again shimmy those hips back and forth. Oh, I got the fire going today because it's chilly outside, but it's It's causing me to feel kind of warmish as we move here. So feet, we might lose sensitivity in our feet, and our sense of touch is important. Our feet need to know, let's go ahead and take our feet back together. Our feet need to feel what kind of surface we're on, what they need to do, what it needs to tell our body to do to adjust. So those are some physical things that maybe affect our balance. All right, let's grab your towel or your blanket. I've got mine folded so it's kind of thick because I'm going to stand on this, all right? So the different surfaces that we stand on, think about walking on uneven ground. Think about walking on rocks or cobblestones or snow or ice, right? We walk on a lot of different surfaces, and we need to be able to let our body adjust to that. So I'm going to take my blanket there. I'm going to have my chair or my wall close by on this one, okay? So I'm going to take my right foot up onto here. And then I'm going to, all right, come up on it. Don't forget that hip lift. We're still going to use that. We use that in everything we balance when we're balancing on one leg. So remember, in and down. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the left leg up off the floor. All right, so if you feel really, really, really unsteady, you can lightly, again, keep your hand lightly on the wall or on your chair. But, oh my gosh, can you feel, very interesting, how your foot moves, how your ankle moves, how you might move your arms and your upper body to keep yourself in balance, right? All right, so figuring out ways to challenge yourself. This is a good one. Rather than just standing on the floor and lifting your leg, stand on something that is movable. Don't forget to breathe as well. Sometimes when we're kind of concentrating, we forget to breathe. But continue breathing and take one more breath because I can really feel it. Whew. All right, let that go. Shake out that leg, those legs. All right, what are some other things we can do? What can we do? Maybe we can't fix the inner ear, or maybe, you know, some of the vision that we lose as we get older, but we can do this, what we're doing now. Yoga is great for helping us with proprioception, and proprioception is how we know where we are in space. So if we didn't have proprioception when we're balancing, we would just fall straight over, okay? But as you work with yoga, you know, when I say bring your arms out to the side, you bring your arms out to the side, and you know they're at the side because it's your proprioception. So yoga is great for that. All right, let's change legs. All right, hip lift, bring it in and down. And then as you're ready, again, if you need to lift a little bit of support, that's okay. But if you can do it without, that's okay too. Another great thing to help with your balance is to walk barefooted, to increase or keep active the sensitivity of your feet, the sense of touch in your feet, walking barefoot. All right, keep breathing. All right, if you're feeling like, oh, I just stand like a statue, then start looking around to add those other challenges that we've already talked about earlier in the class. Always challenging, always challenging. All right, one more breath. And gently come down. All right, excellent. So that's an easy challenge, just standing on one foot on whatever you can find. All right, maybe if that becomes easy, you're standing on a blanket, maybe you start moving your foot back and forth, all right? Continually making it more difficult, okay? Okay, let's try one last balance. I think you might be surprised. We're going to, maybe how unbalanced you might be. So, fix my mat. And we're going to come down onto our hands and knees. So I want you to do it very mindfully. I'm going to go ahead and step forward, coming down onto one knee, bringing the other one back, and coming onto my hands and knees. All right. Let's do this first. You can't see. I want you to put your hands on the floor. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our elbow pits and see if you can turn with your arms straight, your elbow pits out and in. All right, continue that. I'm going to give you a close-up of what I mean in case. So I'm going to hold my forearm. So look at my elbow pit right here. There's it out and in, out, in. All right, that's what we're doing on the floor. Kind of flossing our shoulder joint. Very good. All right. Might be hard for you. Sometimes it takes our brain a little while to connect to those. I'm going to take my glasses off. All right. So when your elbow pits are out towards your hand, I want you to leave them there. And from there, I'm going to extend my left leg, sorry, and my right arm. Hunting dog, this might be known as. Okay. And find your balance there. If you're still like a statue, maybe you close your eyes and see what happens. Very good. Keep breathing. So balancing comes in many forms. It doesn't mean we're just standing on one leg. This is a great balancing pose. Super to strengthen your muscles in your back, arms, hips. Good, take one more breath. And on your exhale, let's bring those back down to the floor. Very good. All right, again, make sure those elbow pits are facing towards your hands. And let's extend the right leg. So you're pushing back through the heel, extending the left arm, extending through the fingertips. Taking some nice deep breaths. And again, if you find this, you might close your eyes and just tell the difference between eyes open and eyes closed. Continue breathing, a couple more breaths. Good, one more inhale. And as you exhale, lower back down to the floor. All right, we're gonna end today in a child's pose. I'm gonna do a wide knee child's pose, placing my feet together, the sides of my feet together, widening my knees apart and taking my hips down towards my heels. And I'm gonna go ahead and rest my head on my hands that are stacked here. And letting your body relax. Your head, your neck, your shoulders. Take about 10 breaths with each exhale. Let everything drain down into your mat, into the earth. Feeling the breath fill up your back body. See if you can take it to the back of your lungs. Feel the back of your ribs expand, your thoracic spine expand. And then relaxing on the exhale. Last 3 breaths. All right, coming back to seated. So hopefully today, this was a good practice in realizing that falling out of balance really doesn't matter, really, truly. How we deal with that moment of falling out of balance and how we find our way back to center every day, again and again. That is the practice of yoga. It's about trusting that you will find your way always back to center. Thanks so much for practicing with me today, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Namaste.